What if the power grid to your city went dark? What if the water stopped running? It sounds like a plot from an apocalyptic movie, but for our nation's critical infrastructure, it's a very real and constant threat. We're talking about the systems that power our homes, deliver water, and keep our hospitals running. The scary part? These vital systems are on the radar of sophisticated foreign adversaries, and shockingly, lack basic cybersecurity. Today, we're going to dive into a recent case study from CISA and the United States Coast Guard that exposes how easily a cyber attack could cripple our daily lives. The findings from the report are a terrifying wake-up call, proving that even in our most critical environments, the most basic security practices are being ignored. The story begins with a joint team from CISA and the United States Coast Guard, who were invited to conduct a proactive threat hunt at a United States critical infrastructure organization. The mission wasn't to respond to an attack, but to proactively search for evidence of malicious activity on the network. The good news? They didn't find any active attacks. The bad news? What they did find was security posture so weak, it was essentially an open invitation to attack. The team identified several major cybersecurity risks, the kind of risks that are frequently talked about, but as this case proves, are still not being addressed. Let's break down their findings. First, they found shared local administrator accounts with non-unique passwords, stored in plain text. Think about that. They found scripts of numerous workstations with usernames and passwords just sitting there, completely unencrypted. It's like leaving a spare key to your entire house under the doormat, and with a note that says, "This key works on every lock." The CISA team was able to use these credentials to log in remotely to an admin account and then move laterally to other workstations on the network. This one vulnerability alone could give an attacker the keys to the kingdom. Secondly, they discovered a severe lack of network segmentation between the IT and operational technology, or OT, environment. The IT network is where employees use email and browse the web. The OT network controls the physical processes, the very things that generate power or treat your water. These two networks should be completely isolated from each other by a secure barrier, often called a bastion host or jump box. But in this case, a standard user on an IT network could directly access the critical SCADA VLAN. This means an attacker who compromises a single employee computer could potentially leapfrog over the security defenses and gain access to the systems that control the physical operations. And the third major problem was a shockingly lack of comprehensive logging. Imagine a security guard watching a building, but the camera is broken, and they're only recording a few hours a day. That was what was happening here. The organization wasn't properly forwarding logs from workstations to their central security system, and they weren't retaining them long enough to even really perform a proper historical analysis. So this left them blind to subtle, sophisticated attacks that don't properly trigger immediate alarms. The CISA team's own hunt was made more difficult because the necessary logs simply didn't exist. These findings are more than just technical failures. They are a terrifying look into the real-world vulnerabilities of our critical infrastructure. The CISA report reveals a disconnect between what cybersecurity experts stress and the importance of what an organization actually is doing. These are exotic zero-day exploits we're talking about here. These are fundamental security mistakes that are easily preventable and have been talked about for years. The fact that these basic errors were found in a critical infrastructure environment is what makes it so scary. We all rely on these systems. They are the backbone to our society. A nation-state actor or a sophisticated criminal group doesn't need to invent new ways to break in when they can completely exploit these well-known vulnerabilities. Imagine the impact if a foreign government was able to exploit the lack of network segmentation that we just talked about. They could move from a simple IT network and gain control of systems that power a major city. These consequences would be catastrophic. Hospitals would lose power, emergency services would be crippled, and the economic and social fallout would be immense. It's not a matter of time if this could happen, but it's a matter of time before someone tries to take advantage of these very weaknesses. The report explicitly states that they found no malicious activity, but they also couldn't rule it out completely because of the poor logging. This leaves a terrifying question hanging in the air. What if an attacker has already been there? What if they've been lurking unnoticed? But because basic security tools weren't in place to catch them? So what's the solution? CISA and the US Coast Guard team has provided a detailed list of recommendations that align with industry best practices. They are urging all critical infrastructure organizations to take immediate action. These steps include: do not store passwords in plaintext credentials. Instead, use an encrypted password vault and secure credential management solutions. Jeez. Avoid sharing local administrator accounts and use tools like Microsoft Apps to manage and rotate passwords. Enforce MFA for all administrative and remote access. Implement and enforce strict network segmentation between IT and OT networks. Establish comprehensive and detailed logging across all systems and aggregate those logs to a centralized, secure location. This case study is a stark reminder that while these threats may not be advanced, the most significant vulnerabilities often stem from failure to implement basic cybersecurity hygiene. It's a wake-up call for all organizations to review their security practices, not just meet compliance, but to truly protect our nation's infrastructure and the people who rely on it. Thanks for watching. If you find this information valuable, please like and subscribe for more insights into the world of cybersecurity. And let's build a fortified digital future together.